Anything that gets a large amount of public attention is obviously subject to more scrutiny. Unions and strikes are no exception. We spoke with a labor expert at the University of Oregon regarding the issue. He says the first thing experts say you should know is that no business organizes without a reason.
A lot of times I think folks think that unions just come in and say, okay, we're going to unionize this shop. It never works like that. It has to come from the support of the workers.
Union officials say that's why the threshold to form a union is 50%. They say it's better to see more people sign up than that. Gordon Lafer with the University of Oregon Labor Education and Research Center says occasionally you'll see some sentiment that strikes are selfish or that the workers are making unreasonable demands and should just be grateful for having a job. He says just like forming a union, strikes require a vote. And without enough support from within the union, those strikes fail. Employees may not get paid quite as much while they're on strike, and Lafer says the fact that they're willing to make those sacrifices should really tell you something.
I mean, everybody would be happy to be rich, but like what most people are fighting for is not to be rich, but is to be secure. Like you have a job, you have health insurance, you're not worried about, being homeless when you're old. You can help your kids, launch in life when they finish high school. And that's gotten harder and harder for a lot of people.
There's one more thing to talk about here, the growing trend of strikes. In the years during and since the pandemic, we've seen everything get more expensive due to inflation. But Professor Lafer says that's only part of the picture. Working conditions have been on the list of demands for many striking workers, like class sizes for teachers and staffing levels for health workers. He believes the return from pandemic-era practices escalated a lot of those frustrations.
When they were called on to sacrifice, they really sacrificed, and then expect that then when times are better that they'll share in the profits or something. And I think there's certainly like in healthcare now, it seems to me like there's a level of anger that in some ways has been building over decades, but was really exacerbated by COVID.
Professor Lafer also noted a growing trend for young people to organize at places like fast food restaurants and Starbucks. Jobs that people used to only stay at for a few months at most.
And the professor says as the economy squeezes young people, they're staying at these jobs a lot longer, and those jobs are becoming more important to them than ever before.